Have you ever wondered about the early life of the woman behind the longest reign in British history until the 21st century, Queen Victoria? Born Alexandra Victoria on May 24, 1819, she was the only child of Edward, Duke of Kent, and Princess Victoria of Saxe-Coburg-Saalfeld. Her father died when she was just 8 months old, making her fifth in line for the throne. Victoria's upbringing was far from ordinary. Known as the Kensington system, her mother and Sir John Conroy instituted a strict regimen that isolated her from other children and controlled her every move. Despite this, Victoria received an education that was broad and comprehensive, with a particular emphasis on history and literature. Suddenly, in 1837, following the deaths of her 3 uncles and father, Victoria found herself queen at the tender age of 18. Her life was about to change dramatically. By the tender age of 18, Victoria was set to rule an empire. In 1837, Victoria ascended to the throne, a young woman stepping into a position of enormous power. This was a pivotal moment in British history, marking the beginning of the Victorian era. Just 3 years later, Victoria embarked on another significant journey: marriage. She married her first cousin, Prince Albert, in 1840. Their partnership was one of mutual respect and shared responsibilities. Albert, though initially hesitant of his role, gradually became Victoria's trusted advisor, support system, and companion. The influence they had on each other was profound. Victoria's assertive nature was tempered by Albert's calm and thoughtful demeanor, while Albert was emboldened by Victoria's determination and strength. Their marriage was more than a union of 2 royals. It was a partnership that shaped the course of the British monarchy. Together, they navigated the challenges of ruling a nation, modernizing the monarchy, and raising a family of 9 children. Together, Victoria and Albert would navigate the challenges of ruling a nation and raising a family. Under Queen Victoria's reign, Britain underwent significant transformations in almost every sphere of life. The Victorian era, stretching from 1837 to 1901, was a period of immense change, characterized by rapid industrialization, technological advancement, scientific discovery, and cultural flourishing. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, reshaping the nation's economy and society. Steam power and mechanization revolutionized industries, from textile manufacturing to transportation. Railways crisscrossed the country, connecting cities and towns, fostering trade, and enabling mobility. Meanwhile, scientific breakthroughs were transforming understanding of the natural world. Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species challenged conventional wisdom, igniting debates that would shape modern biology. In medicine, the germ theory of disease replaced miasma theory, leading to improved public health and sanitation. The Victorian era was also a golden age of literature and arts. Great minds like Charles Dickens, the Bronte sisters, and Thomas Hardy were writing novels that captured the complexities of Victorian society. Poetry, too, thrived under the pens of Alfred Lord Tennyson and Robert Browning. The pre-Raphaelite brotherhood with artists like John Everett Millais brought a new vibrancy to Victorian visual arts. But it wasn't all progress. The Victorian era was a time of stark social contrasts. While the middle class expanded, many working class people lived in poverty. The era saw significant social reforms, attempting to address issues like child labor, education, and public health. Notably, the Reform Acts extended voting rights, gradually democratizing Britain's political system. Everyday life was also evolving. Gaslighting brightened homes and streets, while the penny post made communication affordable. Yet the era was marked by strict social codes. Victorian morality emphasized thrift, self-reliance, and a stiff upper lip. The Victorian era, named after the Queen herself, was a time of great change and progress. It was a period that laid the foundations for the modern world we know today. Beyond her public role, Victoria was also a wife, mother, and grandmother. The Queen and her husband, Prince Albert, had 9 children, each of whom carried a piece of the royal legacy forward. Victoria was deeply involved in their upbringing, often balancing her duties as queen with her role as a mother. Her first child, Victoria, would become the mother of Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany. Her second, Edward, would follow in her footsteps as King Edward VII. Alice, The third child was the mother of Alexandra, who would be the last Tsarina of Russia. Each child had a unique relationship with Victoria, shaping and being shaped by the dynamics of the royal family. Despite the challenges and heartaches, Victoria found comfort in her family. Her children and many grandchildren scattered across Europe's royal families, earning her the nickname, the Grandmother of Europe. Indeed, Victoria's family was both her solace and her responsibility. Prince Albert was not just Victoria's husband, but also her trusted advisor and partner. Their partnership was a powerful force that shaped the British monarchy and society. Albert's keen intellect and progressive ideas played a significant role in modernizing the monarchy. He championed reforms in education, welfare, and the armed forces, fostering a more enlightened and compassionate approach to governance. Albert's influence extended to the cultural sphere as well. He was instrumental in organizing the Great Exhibition of 1851, a showcase of industrial technology and arts that attracted millions of visitors. This event not only highlighted Britain's industrial prowess, but also promoted international peace and cooperation. Moreover, Albert was a driving force behind some of the most significant social reforms of the Victorian era, such as legislation to improve working conditions and promote public health. His dedication to social improvement was a testament to his vision of a more equitable society. Albert's death in 1861 was a devastating blow to Victoria, marking the beginning of her long period of mourning. Under Queen Victoria, the British Empire expanded and consolidated its power. The sun, it seemed, never set on the British Empire during Victoria's reign. It was an era of unprecedented expansion, with the British flag hoisted over territories in every corner of the globe. Queen Victoria was the symbolic head of this vast empire, and she played a vital role in shaping its identity and direction. Her reign, which spanned over 6 decades, was marked by a continuous acquisition of territories. From the rocky coasts of Canada to the sun-soaked landscapes of Australia, from the bustling streets of Hong Kong to the diverse plains of Africa, the British Empire grew in both size and influence. But this wasn't just about adding more territories to a map. Queen Victoria was deeply involved in the governance of these colonies. She maintained a keen interest in colonial affairs, establishing relationships with colonial administrations, and often directly influencing their policies. The Queen's relationship with India, the so-called jewel in the crown of the British Empire, is a prime example. She was proclaimed Empress of India in 1876, a title that signified her personal connection with the subcontinent. The Queen took this role seriously, learning about Indian cultures, studying Hindustani language, and advocating for the rights of Indian subjects. Yet, it's important to remember that the expansion of the British Empire was a complex and often controversial process. It brought advancements in infrastructure, education, and governance to many regions, but also led to exploitation, cultural erasure, and conflict. Queen Victoria's reign was a time of profound change, and her impact on the British Empire was immense. She oversaw its transformation into the world's foremost global power, a vast network of territories united under the British Crown. Her influence shaped the identity of the empire, and her legacy is still visible in the Commonwealth nations of today. Victoria's reign saw the British Empire reach its zenith. Her vision, values, and leadership played a crucial role in molding the empire that would leave an indelible mark on the world's history. Victoria's influence extended far beyond her lifetime, shaping British society, culture, and monarchy. Her reign, known as the Victorian Era, was a period of profound change, marked by rapid industrialization, expansion of the British Empire, and significant social reforms. Victoria's influence on subsequent generations of monarchs was profound. She established the modern constitutional monarchy, where the monarch's role is largely ceremonial, while the government, elected by the people, holds the power to govern. This model is still followed by the British monarchy today. Queen Victoria's legacy also extends to philanthropy and public service. She was a patron of numerous charitable organizations and took an active interest in the welfare of her subjects. She supported the creation of parks, museums, and other public institutions, many of which still serve communities across the UK today. In popular culture, Queen Victoria has been portrayed in countless works of literature, film, and television. From the formidable matriarch in Mrs. Brown to the young queen in Victoria, these portrayals capture her strength, determination and dedication to her role as queen. Beyond her role as queen, Victoria's personal life has also captured public fascination. Her enduring love for Prince Albert, her devotion to her 9 children, and her decades-long mourning after Albert's death have been depicted in numerous biographies and dramas. Victoria's influence can also be seen in the language we use today. Phrases such as Victorian values and Victorian era are commonly used to describe the period of her reign, reflecting her impact on British history and culture. In fashion, Victoria set trends that are still recognized today. The white wedding dress, for instance, became popular after Victoria wore one for her wedding to Prince Albert. Victoria also left a lasting impact on Britain's architectural landscape. From the grandeur of the Royal Albert Hall to the Gothic revival of the Houses of Parliament, Victoria's reign saw a boom in ambitious construction projects that have shaped Britain's cityscapes. To this day, Queen Victoria remains a symbol of a transformative era in British history.